Welcome back to another episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Madison Olms, here with our forecaster, Matthew Howard. Matthew, what's the weather looking like this weekend?
Well, the weather this weekend is looking to be fairly pleasant with temperatures above average, slightly above average. And Easter is looking to be the pick of the weekend, especially as we have higher temperatures in store. For central Pennsylvania, for church services and Easter egg hunts, it's looking to be fairly quiet in dry conditions. As you go a little further south and west, there will be some periods of showery and rainy weather. So it is something to keep in mind while you're traveling this holiday. But it is nothing to cancel your plans over here in central Pennsylvania.
That's really good to hear, that conditions will be good so that people go and visit their friends and family for the holiday. Later on in the show, we have a feature by Benjamin Iaia on tornadoes. And up next, we have our Nature in the News.
Ever think that it feels nothing like the air temperatures outside during the summer? Studies from the University of California show that the 2023 heat wave in Texas was impressive when studying heat indexes. Heat index reached about 125 degrees Fahrenheit in Texas's cities. For every temperature increase of 3 degrees Fahrenheit, the heat index increased up to 11 degrees. Heat indexes are rising dramatically due to relative humidity changes. Now, relative humidity remains more constant with increasing temperature, instead of decreasing more like it did in the past. If you spend time outdoors in extreme heat, stay hydrated and reduce your time outside to reduce symptoms of heat-related illnesses. Extreme heat is deadlier than flooding, as there were about 1,700 heat-related fatalities in the United States during 2022. Stay tuned to National Weather Service alerts to steer yourself away from heat-related troubles.
Spring is in full bloom, and so are pollen allergies. Researchers have analyzed the 100 most populated cities in the continental U.S. for pollen levels, and they've found allergies may be worse depending on where you live. Areas in the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic show to be some of the worst places for those who suffer from allergies. Wichita, Kansas takes the top spot for allergy suffering due to the high levels of tree and grass pollen. Most of the worst cities are located in the southern plains, whereas the best cities are located in the desert southwest, where there's limited vegetation. The Great Lakes region also contains some of the best cities because of the shorter growing season and the winds and rain that help to disperse the pollen. Allergies not only are irritating, but they can lead to sinus infections, trigger asthma attacks, and are the 6th leading cause of chronic illness in the U.S. Pollen season has continued to get worse over the last 30 years, so expect to be sniffling and sneezing through the rest of the spring season.
While there was a snow deficit in Pennsylvania this month, the upper Midwest has experienced multiple snowstorms. Minneapolis, Minnesota received over 15 inches of snow this month, with most of it falling in the second half. It was so snowy for them this March that it exceeded the sum of the previous months this season. Why was it so snowy across Minnesota this month? This is because this area receives twice the amount of precipitation in March than in February. As temperatures lowered later in the month, it became favorable for wintry precipitation to fall in the Twin Cities. While it was quite snowy across the upper Midwest, it is not expected to continue as temperatures will rise as we enter the new month.
Seeing these critters sneak to the surface is a special sight. Scientists have discovered that blind cave salamanders in northern Italy leave their underground homes to go on expeditions to the surface. These salamanders are eyeless and ghostly pale from spending years below ground. They tend to commute back and forth to the surface using springs, where water bubbles up from hundreds of feet deep. This species of salamander is called Olms and were once believed to be baby dragons. Olms are about the length of a banana, have eel-like bodies, and their faces are featureless except for a crown of frilly pink gills. When they hatch, their eyes are quickly covered with skin, leaving them blind. These salamanders navigate their dark environment by sensing vibrations, chemicals in the water, and magnetic fields. They can live for more than a century and were thought not to be able to survive outside of their caves. These salamanders are teaching scientists a lot more now that they surface.
into the holiday weekend, conditions are looking fairly pleasant across central Pennsylvania. As we get towards Friday, it's going to be a very nice day. We can see that there's going to be plenty of sunshine across central Pennsylvania, and temperatures are going to be quite mild. As we get into Friday, the wind is going to pick up just a little bit, but it is not going to be too bad. As you can see a little further out to the west, there is a low pressure system bringing some rain showers out in the central part of the United States that will move a little bit east. As you go a little bit east on the coast, there is a coastal storm moving its way up northeast, bringing some rain and snow to some parts of the coastal northeast. For Saturday, we do have some nice conditions as temperatures are going to get a little slightly higher, and we do have some increasing cloud cover for Saturday. As we can see right here, there is a rainmaker out in the Midwest, the one we saw from Friday that is going to move a little further east. As you travel on Saturday, keep in mind that there is going to be some rainy conditions as you go out in the central part of the United States, and even some showery conditions as you get towards southwest Pennsylvania. We do have a warm front just south of us that's going to bring some higher temperatures out towards Virginia and places further south. For Sunday, for Easter Sunday, it is going to be the pick of the weekend as temperatures are going to be quite a bit higher than average. You can see that we have a warm front still across the southern regions just south of us. And you can see there's still a rainmaker, a different low pressure system approaching from the Midwest that is still going to bring some showery conditions out in that region. And for Sunday, it's going to be mostly cloudy, but we are going to see some peaks of sunshine. That will increase our temperatures. For Friday, we do have plenty of sunshine, so it's going to be a very nice day for travel. And for anyone moving out or for anyone just going, it's going to be a very nice day with seasonable temperatures and a slight bit of wind as well. For Friday night, we do have temperatures in the low 30s, so quite usual for this time of year. So go out and enjoy the nice weather. For Saturday, we have increasing clouds, especially as you get towards the latter part of the day. We have temperatures slightly above average for this time of year. Their average high is in the low 50s. For Saturday night, temperatures are going to be a little bit higher than the previous night, with temperatures in the mid-40s. And for Easter Sunday, it is going to be the pick of the weekend. It's going to be very nice for any Easter egg hunts, any church gatherings, all of the above. It's going to be a very nice day across central Pennsylvania. So no rain to worry about at all, with temperatures in the low 60s and temperatures 10 degrees above average. So it is going to be a very nice day for anyone traveling or any outdoor plans during this Easter. Coming up next, we have a feature by Ben Iaia on tornadoes.
With the warm season fully upon us in April beginning, the next severe weather season is brewing. This season impacts a wide swath of the nation and can cause catastrophic damage. This season is tornado season, which begins in April and extends through June and July, as the most tornadoes form during these months. That said, tornadoes can occur anywhere and at any time of year. The springtime is when the primary ingredients come together to create widespread tornado outbreaks. Wind shear is one of the most important ingredients for the formation of tornadoes. Wind shear is the change of speed and direction with wind with height. In the central United States, warm, moist air at the surface will be just below the jet stream winds blowing out of the west. This turning leads to rotation within the atmosphere, which can cause a tornado to develop. A second ingredient for tornado formation is a trigger for thunderstorm development. When a low-pressure system emerges from the Rocky Mountains, fronts will develop. One of the most important fronts in a tornado is the dry line, a separation of dry air from moist air. On the wet side of the dry line, or just to the east, thunderstorms can develop. This is due to the high amounts of instability in the atmosphere, which can lead to a rapid rise in air. If the thunderstorms encounter a high shear environment, they will begin to rotate in individual cells called supercells. The climatology of tornadoes shows a definitive season for these destructive systems. April through June are the peak months, although tornadoes can still occur all year round. This is simply because dry lines and the jet stream lead to the perfect setup for tornadoes to form this time of year. While Tornado Alley is the primary bullseye during these months, other locations can see peaks in tornadic activity. For Pennsylvania, our peak months for tornadoes are May, June, and July. The strongest tornadoes reported in Pennsylvania have been across the central and western portions of the Commonwealth. The most intense and only Iaia 5, the strongest on the enhanced Fujita tornado scale, was on May 31st, 1985 in Mercer County. Strong Iaia 4 tornadoes have also been reported, including a long-tracked tornado on May 31st, 1985, that stayed on the ground from Clearfield County through Clinton County and tracked through the northern portions of Center County. From the 1985 tornado outbreak, it is clear that Pennsylvania is not immune to powerful and long-tracked tornadoes. When a tornado risk targets your area, it is best to know what to do and where to go when a tornado warning is issued. The best place to be is in the basement. If you cannot be in a basement or underground, an interior room on the ground floor away from any windows is the second best option. If you're caught in your car during a tornado warning, find the nearest sturdy shelter, such as a grocery store or business. Having a safe space during a tornado season could mean the difference between life and death. For Weather or Not, I'm Benjamin Iaia.
As we head into the beginning of next week, say goodbye to the higher temperatures that we've had, as temperatures will return more to a seasonal pattern to the beginning of the week. We can see on our weekend recap, we do have some fairly pleasant temperatures. On Friday, we do have lots of sunshine and temperatures near seasonal. And as we get towards Saturday and Sunday, you can see that we have an increase in cloud cover due to a low pressure system out to our west. And temperatures will be slightly above average from that. And as we head towards next week, you can see that we have rainy conditions to start off the week. And we can see temperatures slightly below average to near seasonal to begin the week with periods of moderate rain. As we get toward Thursday and Friday though, we see the sun finally get back into the picture. And as we can see, temperatures rebound just in time for the end of the week. And as we're not always this lucky, in April, our temperatures are sometimes a little bit lower.
Matt, that actually reminds me of our Weather Whiz Quiz question this week, where we'll be discussing some lower temperatures that we've experienced here in State College in early April. So the Weather Whiz Quiz question this week is, what was the lowest recorded temperature on April Fool's Day in State College? Was it A, 7 degrees, B, 12 degrees, C, 15 degrees, or D, 19 degrees? If you guessed C, 15 degrees, you would be correct. And Matthew, that actually happened back in 1911, so quite a while ago, that we were experiencing pretty low temperatures compared to what we'll be seeing this upcoming weekend for the Easter holiday.
Wow, that was such a long time ago, and I'm so glad we aren't seeing temperatures that low for the Easter holiday, so that's going to be a nice perk for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of the holiday, are you going to be doing anything for the holiday weekend?
I am going back to see my family in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is near where I live. So I'm very excited to see them and spend time with them and have some Easter dinner with them as well.
That's very exciting. I have my family coming to visit me here in State College, so I won't be doing as much traveling as you, but still get that family time nonetheless. But that's all we have for this week. Join us next week for another episode of Whether or Not.